Welcome to video lecture session 4 on visual programming. Learning objectives. So in this video session, you learn about the VB editor, that is how we are going to create a project using VB editor. Also, you learn about form object, properties, events, and methods of forms. Prerequisites. In the previous video session, you have got familiarized with IDE environment and have explored the IDE content. Session outcomes. So once you complete the session, you would have understood what is IDE, how to use the IDE, how to place object in form, and how to define properties, methods, and events for form object. The VB editor. So Visual Basic is an integrated development environment used to develop, run, test, and debug applications. On loading Visual Basic, the new project window is displayed. It consists of three tabs: New to create a new project, Existing to open an existing project, Recent for opening a project that was previously loaded into the IDE. Now select standard exe icon to open the IDE for a standard exe project. So IDE is commonly used in programming world to describe the interface and environment called integrated. Also, we can access virtually all the development tools that we need from one screen called interface. A standard EXE project consists of various components like the title bar, menu bar, toolbar, project explorer, properties window, form layout window, toolbox, form designer, object browser. Now the diagram here, it shows the various components of IDE. So the components could be the toolbox, the form designer window, code editor, project explorer, and the properties window. Title bar and menu bar. So title bar, it is always at the top of the IDE window and it displays the name of the project along with the current form name. By default, Project 1, Microsoft Visual Basic Design Form 1 is displayed. The menu bar. The menu bar displays, it consists of the commands required for developing, maintaining, and executing the programs with VB. So menus are group of related capabilities from which a user can select required choices. Now, some of the menus which are available are like File menu. It has the options for opening, closing, saving, and printing projects. Edit menu has the options such as cut, copy, paste, find, undo, delete, etc. View menu has the options for displaying or hiding the components of IDE. Project menu has the options for adding the components to the current project, references to window objects, and features such as forms. Format menu has the options for aligning and locking controls on the form. Debug menu options for debugging. Run menu has the options to start, break, and execute and end execution of the current program. Query menu has the options for manipulating data accessed from a database. Diagram menu has the options for viewing and editing the design of databases. Tools menu has the options for IDE tools and options to use the menu editor and to customize the environment. Add-ins menu has the options for initializing, using, and removing the add-ins. So only the Visual Data Manager utility is installed by default. Windows menu has the options for arranging the windows on the screen. And help menu consists of information to help the users. Project Explorer. Now the Project Explorer, the window displaying project 1, it is known as Project Explorer and it lists the project files. The project components, they are organized in folders as in Windows Explorer. The toolbar of the Project Explorer consists of 3 buttons: View Code, View Object, and Toggle Folders. Now the function of these buttons is the View Code. It displays a window for writing Visual Basic code. View Object, it displays the form to be designed. The form can also be displayed by double clicking on Form 1. And the Toggle Folder, this button alternates hiding or showing the form folder. Properties window. So each control has its own set of properties such as size, color, font, caption, etc. When a control on the form is selected, the property window displays the properties of the selected control. Now, for example, to change the color of the form, we select the back color property in the properties window. Next, we click on the arrow button and the Visual Basic displays a color selection box. On selection of a color, the form is filled immediately with the new color. Properties can be listed alphabetically or categorically by selecting the corresponding tabs on the property window as seen in the figure. Form layout window. The form layout window specifies the position of the form on the screen during runtime. Now, this window is very useful when multiple forms are used in an application. The position of the form can be changed by positioning the mouse pointer over the form image and dragging it to a new location on the screen in the form layout window. The mouse pointer changes its shape when placed over the image of the form. Toolbars. Toolbars in the menu bar provides quick access to the commonly used commands, and a button in the toolbar is clicked once to carry out the actions. The standard toolbar, which is normally placed below the menu bar by default. Also, Visual Basic provides additional toolbars for editing, debugging, and form design, which can be toggled on or off from the toolbars command in View menu. Form Designer window. The Form Designer window allows the user to add controls, graphics, and pictures to a form as needed. Every form in an application has its own form designer. Object browser. The object browsers, they display the classes, properties, methods, events, and constants available from object libraries and the procedures in your project. Can use it to find and use objects you create as well as objects from other applications. Code window. Code window contains an object box displaying the name of the selected object and a procedure box listing a variety of procedures available for the object or the controls. The form object. Form is a container or a window consisting of all the elements or controls that make up the user interface. Now, some of the common properties of Visual Basic controls are back color. It specifies the background color of the control. Border style. It generally specifies whether or not a control has a border. The caption. It is for the string of the text that is displayed on the control. Enabled determines whether or not the control can respond to the user-generated events. Font. For controls displaying the text specifies the font to be applied to the displayed text. Visible specifies whether the control is visible or not. Tab index specifies the tab order of a control. For color specifies the color of the text to be displayed in the control. Now, methods are the blocks of code designed into controls how to do things. Now, common methods of Visual Basic controls are drag. It handles the extension of a drag drop operation by the user. Move changes an object's position in response to a code request. Refresh, the refresh method, it reprints or redraws an object completely. Set focus, gives focus to the object specified in the method call. Z order determines the order in which windows and multiple objects appear on the screen to the users. Now, an event is an action that informs an application that something has occurred. So, some of the common events of Visual Basic controls are change, the user modifies the text in object. Click, the user clicks the primary mouse button on an object. Key press, the user presses or releases a keyboard key while an object has focus. Got focus, an object receives the focus. Lost focus, an object loses the focus. So now that we have come to the end of this session, now let us answer multiple choice questions. So Visual Basic was developed by Larry Wall, Dennis Ritchie, Alan Cooper, Ken Thompson. So the correct answer is Dennis Ritchie. Dash window exposes the various characteristics of selected objects. Immediate window, property window, form window, none of these. The correct answer is property window. Which window serves as quick reference to various elements of a form, classes, and modules? Code window, property window, project explorer window, object browser. The correct answer is object browser. Properties can be viewed in two ways, alphabetic and categorized, alphabetic and numeric, numeric and alphanumeric, none of these. The correct answer is alphabetic and categorized. Which of the following windows is the central to the development of Visual Basic applications? Project window, form window, properties window, all of the above. The correct answer is form window. References. Thank you for listening.